It's the childhood toy that brings back memories for many of us. The Golliwog has been around since the 1800s, and one avid collector now has more than 400 pieces of Golliwog knickknacks. Her collection will form part of this year's Craft and Quilt Fair. But although it's loved, these days the Golliwog is also controversial. Nicole Madigan reports.
It's that time of year again. Brisbane's biggest craft and quilt fair is back in town.
Got everything from scrapbooking, beading's really big at the moment. Of course, we've got our traditional favourites, the quilts. But anything that you want to make for Christmas, you can find here at the craft fair.
As well as old favourites, this year's fair features new displays. This collection of antique Golliwogs, one of the most comprehensive in the exhibition.
We've got lots and lots of badges and books, and the idea of the display is so people can relate to and have some childhood memories themselves.
Bev Scott has been collecting Golliwogs since she was 8 years old. Much of the display is made up of her own toys and knickknacks, the rest collected from around the world. A passion which Bev says brings her right back to her childhood.
He was always a little bit rascally, depicted in the children's novels, which appealed to me as a child.
The history of the Golliwog dates back to the late 1800s, when Bertha Upton wrote the story of the two Dutch dolls and a Golliwog.
But they neglected to copyright the word Golliwog. So unfortunately, I suppose, or fortunately, I don't know, it went into public domain, and companies like Deans and Robinsons picked it up and used it a lot for advertising.
But while the display is both historical and extensive, it's also the most controversial, with some locals finding the dolls highly offensive.
Exhibition should be closed down. End of story. Closed down and burned to the tip.
Sam Watson from the University of Queensland says Golliwogs are offensive to Indigenous Australians and perpetuate racist images.
They're crude caricatures that attempt to dehumanise and ridicule people of colour.
Bev believes it's not about that at all. She says Golly dolls are all about nostalgia and childhood memories.
It is absolutely nothing to do with politically incorrect. It's all about our childhood.
Exhibition organiser Gary Fitzroy has defended the inclusion of the display, saying the dolls are a part of history.
Oh, look, I think people have got to get over it. The reality is they're a link to the past.
But Sam believes the display should be banned.
They're not welcome, and in this day and age they should play no part in modern Australian culture.
It's not the first time Golly dolls have caused controversy this year. In August, the Royal Brisbane Hospital came under fire for selling the dolls in its pharmacy. Aboriginal elders said the dolls were racist and called for their removal. But the dolls remained on sale, and today the crowds were out in droves at the fair, the Golliwog display one of the most popular.
Don't look at the colour of them, you look at what they're dressed in.
It's just a toy. At the end of the day, there's nothing offensive about it.
While times have changed, Golliwog biscuits became scallywags in the 90s and naughty books were revised to exclude Golliwog. Bev says she'll continue with her exhibition.
We just love our Golliwogs.